Welcome to 28 Days and Beyond.
We talk about our history, our heritage, and our culture.
I'm Amari.
Charisma, welcome. Hello, Amari.
Hola, how you doing?
I'm doing well. What are we talking about today?
Excellent. Today we are talking about the concept of FUBU.
For
FUBU.
but
Yeah, that's a throwback, right? Because when I hear FUBU, I think of the clothing line, but also what it really came to represent, which was Black people being able to rely on each other to meet our collective needs, to satisfy whatever it is that we need without having to go outside of our community. We're joined by Louis Manon, who is the chairman of the Villanova Black Alumni Council. So let's jump right into it. Louis, how you doing?
I'm doing great. It's good to see you, Mari. Charisma.
Yeah.
It's
You
good.
too. How's it going, man?
COVID times, staying quarantined.
Hey, yeah, that's it. That's right. Hey, so let's jump into it. Yeah.
Sure.
For us, by us. So talk
Mhm.
about what that concept means to you personally.
Yeah, personally, life, the people that are immediately around me, they have been the ones that have always carried me, picked me up, encouraged me, pushed me forward. And in that space, I realized that a lot of what allowed me to be who I am and allowed me to get to the places I've gotten to started with those people that were right around me. And a lot of that was my family, and the church was around me, elders, community, and that community is kind of really what the foundation of who I am and how I was able to navigate things moving forward through my life. And so as I've had the opportunity to, study and be exposed to different things, we talk about the Black Panthers, we talk about, again, the Black church, we talk about fraternities and sororities, the NAACP, Urban League, and these kinds of things, the Chitlin Circuit, the Negro Leagues, that when we were doing these things together, we were finding some success. Black Wall Street.
Yeah. That's why it was such a threat. Why I wanted to shut it down.
Yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
you definitely don't have to convince me. I'm already on board. Do for self, in the spirit of Booker T. Washington and Marcus Garvey. I mean, these things are really important. And you were pointing to some of the historical examples of this, which, I think that this is a message that may be a little bit better received now, right? Coming off of the summer that we came off of with the brutal murder of George Floyd, which was really the sort of breaking point for so many other injustices that had happened prior to that. It seems like people are a little bit more open to the idea of saying, hey, we can't always look outside of our community first. To the people who really are responsible for our condition, we need to start to close ranks and look in. What do you have to say about that?
I 100% agree. Funny enough, one of the things that we were trying to move away from with all of the civil rights was separate but unequal, right? And so then this whole integration thing came, but then life actually still kept us separate but unequal. So the fact that already exists means that if we kind of now just go back to, okay, then we have to take care of home ourselves, and then because then we start respecting home in a way. It's nobody's judging from the outside in, and then we start to respect it for ourselves. Then we look at ourselves as the place to be, which is what I think when you talk about, in addition to the things that have kind of tipped the scales for folks with regard to the things that occurred over this past year, but just people know we're blackity black. We are about the business of ourselves. We see the shine, we see the growth. We're at all levels of things. And, I think we just need to continue to not be afraid to step into the arena of let's get our foundation and our platform very solid. So that foundation will be the cornerstone for how we move forward and engage all these other pieces.
That's exactly
so how does that look for you, just in terms of your role as a Black man in general, and then also as the chair of the Villanova Black Alumni Association?
It's a really good question. As a Black man in general, uh, for me, I feel like it's again, it's the source of all of the not all of the positive, but it is the source of where I think I get my strength, or I get my swag, or I get my confidence, is because of where I came from and the shoulders that I stand on. You know, I quote this to people. Inspector Deck said that we're survivors of the oldest tribes whose soldiers died. Like that lineage, right? And what we actually come from is really something strong to stand on. So then when I think about that and the energy that I have to carry forward, then I bring that into the other engagements. And when I look at the students at Villanova, knowing the climate that they are in right now, that the world is in, but then on a campus like Villanova and having to navigate that, well, then it's extraordinarily important to say, hey, the university is there to help you and help all the students. So it can't necessarily just focus on Black folks, but us as Black folks, we can certainly focus on Black folks and help enhance the value and experiences of all those people on campus.
You know, I think that's an important point for a number of reasons. Number one, you know, for so long, so you mentioned the idea of, you know, integration, and for so long, you know, the benchmark for success was how far away from Black people can we get. And it really seems like, at least I would hope, that we're seeing a shift. You know what I'm saying? Like, go to a good school, go to, you know, live in a good neighborhood. This means going away from Black people to live amongst white people. And in this instance, you know, the power that you can, in terms of access to resource that you can leverage as an alumni association at a prestigious university, really can speak volumes. What are some of the things that you know your association has been talking about in terms of the contribution that they're going to make, whether it be to, you know, Black students at Villanova or beyond the campus?
Right. So first and foremost, to the students on campus, we want to just have a presence. We want to support either financially. We want to support them with resources, because these students are trying to do all of the things that require their immediate attention studying, and they can't always be the voices at the table. And sometimes they do need guidance. And so we are there to help sort of navigate and guide and push things forward in addition to what they're doing, and not make decisions on their behalf, just give them information so that they're better informed, right? And then we also are looking to do better for the alums who have come through already and are out in the world. And so we will just have a bigger presence and influence that says, hey, you know, that person is from Villanova, you know, like, because I don't want the Villanovans to be hidden figures, the Black Villanovans to be hidden figures. I don't want a movie 20 years from now talking about there were Black people at Villanova, you know what I mean? So together, we will actually build the scaffold and the monuments to ourselves because of the work that we do. And we don't have to wait for anyone to recognize us. We're already here. And that's where that togetherness, that for us, by us component is really what drives me.
Wow. Where can people follow you, keep up with everything that you're doing, and get more involved in the For Us, By Us movement?
Interesting.
Like that.
You know, here's the thing. Like, this type of interaction, the fact that we got Black folks on the back end of this, y'all two in the front, me as the guest, this is it. It's just making the connection. It's not something that I'm driving. I just feel like the energy is there, and this is a part of that fabric that is already being knitted, and I'm just a part of it. So I'm riding the wave. I like to have the conversation. Obviously, I'm on LinkedIn. I'm a financial professional, and so people can find me there. But listen, I'm just here to kind of ride the wave and be a part of it.
No, we appreciate you.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate you. You know, say it again.
I said Lewis Manon at LinkedIn to actually answer the question.
There it is. Got you. Yeah. Well, listen, Lewis, we appreciate you hanging out with us, talking, and to my heart, bringing a very important conversation that, you know, I want to see more and more of. So thank you so much, man. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. My pleasure. Bless up.
Yeah. This has been another episode of 28 Days and Beyond,
Where we talk about our history, our heritage, and our culture. We'll see you next time.